Well, hello everybody, and thank you to everybody that's looked at my videos so far. And as you know, I'm relatively new to this, so making my way. I've already had one or two quite nice comments, which is rather nice. Which I'm going to address one of those today. One of the questions I had. This is Wilton Tunnel Junction, so it's a departure from the other small diorama layout you saw, which was the Severn Wharf Docks layout. This is more of a town scene, and yet Wilton Tunnel Junction station here. What I was going to talk about today was very quickly, it's very easy. It was something on weathering on cardboard buildings. As you can see, I've got a lot of cardboard kits, some of which have been kit bashed. But they can look a bit too new, to say the least. So sometimes you have to do something to tone them down a little. Just to give you some idea, this is actually an industrial unit. Very simple. I think it was scale scenes, and I did an ultra low relief kit bash job on it. Put my own windows in with some with some plastic, spare plastic, over the printed black frames and so on. But anyway, the roof you could probably see is just a normal grey. And just so you can see, I've already marked the top of this, and no roof is going to be clean. So all I've done, it's probably not the best way, but this is how I do it. I can't be bothered to mess around too much with this sort of thing, so I do it as simply as I can, really, and that's what I did on the Severn Wharf layout. What I do, get myself a pot. One of these little pots here I've got, which has got powders in it. There's some more powders in there. These are actually Revell. They're about £14–15, but there's other things around, of course. There's black soot, there's sandy stuff, rust, and so on. So you use whatever it is you felt was appropriate. The one I'm using at the moment is this greenish sort of staining you get after a lot of heavy rain and things. Little brush, bit of sandpaper, and you need something to clean your fingers with afterwards. All I do is literally this. Very light piece of sandpaper, nothing too heavy. I just give it, just 2 examples. Not too hard. Just rough it up a little bit. Now, I tend to use my finger. Stick some of this powder on. I just rub it on. That's all I do. I don't wet it. If you could wet this stuff and paint it on, but you've got to be pretty skillful to get that right, to be honest, and I can't be bothered with any of that nonsense. So you're not gonna, you don't want it too heavy. It's just something to take down the tone of the roof. And the sort of places you do it underneath as well as under, say, the window frames, for instance. Do a little. Don't do it too hard, otherwise you'll get you'll rub off all the brickwork, because there's only card and paper. Do it just under the window frames. This is just to take off any shininess on there. Again, you could brush it on, but I find it's easy just to. You can probably barely see this, but you don't want a lot. See, I'm just. There we are. Because you can do it a bit heavier immediately under the frames if you really wanted to. Some guys are really expert at weathering. I'm no expert, but I can get some sort of effect here. And see these white lintels here, you don't want them too bright. Here we go. So this is only a quick sort of demo really. It can be a bit of a messy old business doing this. The only trouble is when you've done it and it's on your layout, when you pick these things up again, you might get a little bit on your fingers and that, but yeah. That's it really. Now you could dampen some of that down perhaps and do a little bit of watering down. Brush it down a bit. Let that dry out. That's about it. You don't want too much. The old expression less is more is quite appropriate really, I think. Here we are, that's it. I'll go back next to mine. I've yet to see an industrial building that looks all lovely and clean. This cinema, do the same with that really. I'm not going to right now. But it was just a quick demo. Yeah, so all you need is some powders, your finger, paintbrush, maybe a drop of water, and just go lightly on it. And that's it really. Thank you very much for watching. Leave your comments. I'm sure there's some experts out there that probably say, oh no, you need to do this, that and the other, which is great if you really want to, but I don't want to do it like that. I'm quite happy the way it goes. I need to do a lot more weathering on these buildings. But thanks again anyway.